This podcast is about Power Acronym 207. 207th Power Acronym in the growing library. And I'm excited about this one because it is a continuation from the previous, which was alone. And that is part one of the two-part separation season playbook, workbook, whatever. I don't know if there's a better name, playbook. I don't know if that's right, but it's part of this two-part alone and then into a part. And this is the bridge that'll take us into part two, a part. And it is the questions that will help you grow in 2026. The questions that will help you grow in 2026, GROW, G.R.O.W, is Power Acronym 207. How exciting. And so I hope you enjoy this. So it's cold. Gets darker earlier. It's a reflective time of year. And so in a previous Power Acronym, it's titled on the Substack, it is titled Life Savers, SAVERS, 6 Morning Habits That Will Quietly Change Your Whole Day. And it is a Power Acronym, that's Power Acronym 203, and it's from Hal Elrod's book, The Miracle Morning. And so, but we're not talking about that one. Check it out if you're interested in these life savers. The SAVERS acronym is really cool. Great morning habits that you can integrate into your day. But this one is about 207, GROW, G-R-O-W. And so scribing is one of those life-saving habits, life savers habits. That's why I brought that up. And it is a breakthrough tool. I've journaled for a long time, for years and years, and it comes and goes in different waves. And so I have multiple journals that I've saved. I've got tons of journals that I've thrown away. And so it's been life enhancing. And so highly recommend that habit. And I've been doing it more and more regularly this season. It is something that I've re-implemented in my morning routine. Wake up early, get to scribing. And so I've mentioned that before. Anyway, so I say that because that's what this post and what this podcast is about. It's about scribing, and hopefully if you're curious about the act of that, the practice of that, and you just want some help, this is the episode, this is the article for you. And so I'll get a little bit more into why, but this Power Acronym, GROW, G-R-O-W, is actually a coaching model from BNI, Business Networking International, an organization that I am a part of. It is a Business Networking International is a networking organization. I serve as president of the world's richest BNI. It is a play on Kilgore, Texas. That's where it is located. And I'm also serving as a launch director consultant in the Northeast Texas BNI, just the area. And so my role is to help launch and support other local chapters. And so just part of my life. And that's how I got GROW, GROW. It's the GROW coaching model from BNI. And so I wanted to share it because boom, works. It belongs to the collection. And so if I'm not creating a Power Acronym, I'm curating, I'm collecting it, and I'm sharing it with you because I think it could be impactful. It can encourage, enrich, and empower you. It's a mission that I'm on. And so I want to help people enter 2026 prepared, not surprised. And prompts I have found, I use prompts, ChatGPT. I'm asking ChatGPT for 3 prompts every single morning to get my day started. And what I've found is prompts accelerate breakthroughs. And so you don't have to think about too much of anything. You just have to respond to whatever the prompt is. And that speed is power. And that power is actually right inside you. You just got to respond to the prompt. And so these are prompts for you to help grow your business because Business Networking International, you're going to grow your business, but it's not specifically business, it's also personal, right? So you're going to grow your business through the breakthroughs that you have personally. And that turns into professionally as you express it in different ways, specifically into your work, that energy, that work, that love, the big three. I digress. So why grow? G.R.O.W. I found it in the BNI toolbox. I immediately recognized it as a power acronym. It's a perfect year-end reflection tool. If you own a business, aspire to have one. If you're in a business, you're leading, you're a leader. Great reflection tool for you, yourself first, and then your team. Simple, clear, actionable, and it's, I think, a great set of questions. And so there's a lot of questions actually, but I didn't want to overwhelm you. Want you to be able to go right into action, not be like overwhelmed by a certain thing. So I curate that. And so grow, I'm going to give you the breakdown in this podcast or this video, and I'm going to keep these short. I'm going to read each question slowly. I'm going to read it twice. I'm going to share, a personal example if they arise, but I want to, give you this so you don't have to spend too much time listening to me, and you can spend more time listening to yourself as you reflect on these questions. And so, GROW, Power Acronym 207, the BNI GROW coaching model. It starts with G. It stands for goal. And here's a quick thought, just real quick. I had this thought just the other day. Power acronyms, the reason acronyms I think are powerful is that they stand for something. Okay? Acronyms stand for something. And so when you stand for an acronym, when you stand in the same space as an acronym, when you make it part of the foundation that you step on, then you stand for something at that point because acronyms mean something. And so that is the power of power acronyms, I think. Had that thought today after the run. And here we go. So GROW, G-R-O-W, goal. Start with direction, not tasks. Direction. And so here are the questions that I think are the best about setting our direction. So what direction do you want to go personally, professionally, and in your business? Question 1, here we go. Write it down. What do you want to achieve long term? What do you want to achieve long term? Question 2, is that positive, challenging, and attainable? Is that positive, challenging, and attainable? That thing that you want to achieve long term? And question 3, will that be of real value to you? Will that be of real value to you? So don't overthink these. Just aim for honesty, get them done. And you might pass through these multiple times, maybe in a day or in a week. But what do you want to achieve long term? Is that positive, challenging, and attainable? And will that be of real value to you? All right. That's grow with the G, that's goal. And so grow, G to R. These have to do with reality. Asking the question, this is not one of the questions, but kind of a intro question. Where are you right now, really? That's the R in reality. Here are the questions. Write them down and then answer them. What is working well at the moment? Honesty, remember. What is working well at the moment? What obstacles, question 2, what obstacles are in your way? What obstacles are in your way? Name it to tame it. Question 3, what is within your control here? What is in your control here? 3 questions about reality, the reality that you're in right now, professionally, primarily, but can also be personally. The 3 questions, one more time. What is working well at the moment? What obstacles are in your way? What is within your control here? Don't judge your answers, just answer. And one thing about this podcast too, you can you can be listening to this in your automobile and or while you're cleaning the house or running or whatever you're doing, and then pause the podcast and reflect on it. If you're not able to write, I highly encourage you to do so, but that's just another technique. So remember, reality isn't a punishment, it's just the truth, and the truth is a starting point. Start there. It's the best place to start. So grow, GR. So goal, reality questions, goal questions. And now we go to the O, talking about options. So this is where possibilities open up. This is where opportunity, if you were to give the creative freedom on the O, options, opportunity. And so the 3 questions are these. What could you do that would help you achieve your goal? What could you do that would help you achieve your goal? Question 2. What do you think would happen if you did that action? What do you think would happen if you did that? Question 3. What do you think would happen if you did nothing? What do you think would happen if you did nothing? So that's options in the Grow coaching model. 3 questions I've curated from a list. And so this contrast is meant to lead to clarity, action versus inaction. So, set up, what that action could be that you're about to take. What would happen if you did, and go through those options? And then what would you think what would happen if you did nothing though? Those are other options to consider. And so where possibilities open up, this is grow. And so one thing about possibilities and options and stuff like that, the science of hope, it's a +1 that I've heard on Heroic. And for hope, the virtue of hope, focusing on hope, is that you have GAP, which is GAP, which is one of the Power Acronyms, one of the early ones, early numbers. And that stands for goals, agency, and pathways. The science of hope is goals, agency, and pathways. And so it's about, hey, you have the agency, you have, what is that thing? What is that action that would help you achieve your goal? And then the pathways. What would happen if you did that? What happened if you did nothing? All right. So that's options. Just wanted to share that little spontaneous thing, but moving right along, we got 1 letter left. And so if you're writing these down, keep going. That's like you. And so W, will. So we have goal, reality, options, will. That's the BNI Grow coaching model. That's Power Acronym 207. Will. This is where momentum begins. Your willpower. So the questions, what will you do? What will you do? What resources or support will you need? What resources or support will you need? And the last question in will is, when should we review your progress? So this is where the momentum begins. Will, when should we review your progress? So what will you do? What resources and support will you need? When should we review your progress? And so um, accountability is really important. That's what that last question is. And that's really what is going to bring that momentum because you're holding yourself accountable. So, when should we review the progress? As you write this down, what's the date on the calendar you can map this to? Put it on there, make it happen. One thing I like to say about will, it is your will, not will you. So, answer these without judgment. Take your time. These questions are a gift to yourself this holiday season, not homework. So unwrap them with excitement and play with them liberally. So December is the practice run for 2026. Don't forget that. And you don't have to have perfect answers in this time, in the separation season. If you're following along, and we're in alone, awareness, love, we're crafting our origin story. We're saying we know what to say no to. We're emerging. We emerge. We're practicing these questions. We're answering these questions with our words, with our actions, with our will. And this is all about finding the truth and stepping into that. So grow is a tool, but you are the one who grows. So let it you know, craft with it. So, quick invitation. If you're local to East Texas, if you're a friend of mine, if you're in my network, like personally, like you actually, like we can dap it up, we can shake hands, we can say what's up. Invitation. So BNI is launching. I'm part of the launch for the Gilmer chapter, Gilmer, Texas, home of the Amberee, home of the Buckeyes. Some great football played over there in Gilmer, Texas. And so it's happening this Wednesday. If you're listening to this on release day, it's Thursday. But if you're reading this thing, it's on Tuesday. But anyway, this is going to come out Thursday. So if you're listening to this, but you're like, oh, I missed it, that's okay. You still might be able to be in the chapter. There's probably a seat open for you, just depending on what you do in your local. Anyway, just wanted to invite you to this event that we're having for the Gilmer Buckeye Business Network. It's already more than halfway to launch. Great opportunity to meet founding members and network. And so if you want to visit or learn how BNI grows businesses through referrals, just register at the link. It's in the post. Or just reach out to me directly and I'll help you. I'll hook you up and introduce you to my network that keeps growing. Pun intended, always on Power Acronym, on Dunn On Purpose. And so if you want clarity in 2026, community accelerates it. Find yours. Remember, strong, calm, the 3 C's: communication, community, company. Whether that's the company you're building or the company that you keep builds the company that you're building. And so if you want to talk to me about this, I'm more than willing to talk. Obviously, I have a podcast. And so in person or virtual, happy to connect with you. For anyone wanting to help go through their goals, go through this GROW coaching model, there's more questions behind these 3, 6, 9, 12. And so there's more. And so if you're interested in those, just send me a message, but no pressure, just connection, clarity, next steps. And so, but all growth happens in the context of a conversation. And so this conversation happens to be with yourself when you're answering these reflective questions. But man, there's so much power in the spoken word, and imagine what it's like with a group, right? And so that's what I'm happy to play a small part in hosting this conversation. And so thanks for spending time this December moment with me. Hey, ask a question. What's a good question for you? There's a bonus in the post as well. Thanks. Shout out to Carrie Reiger, BNI ambassador and member. And so of Green Monkey Promotions, by the way. And so ask your question. I'd love to hear your favorite reflective questions or an insight or, whatever this brought up for you. GROW is simple. answers evolve over time. So take a second, third, fourth, fifth pass at it. Review the answers in January, see what, surprises come up. And hey, strength, intention, wisdom, love, courage, gratitude, hope, curiosity, zest, all things, all virtues that I hope for you. So, yeah, this has been Done on Purpose. Power Acronym 207 G.R.O.W. See you next time.